Guy even Tom looks up to. Rough first inning, not so much for Glavine, but for Tim Belcher in Atlanta. Jeff Blauser 2 for 23 in his career against Belcher, but delivers this time a double to left, scoring Otis Nixon in the opening inning, and then Lonnie Smith get out of here. A home run, his 6th of the year, 5-0. Belcher didn't get out of the first inning, gave up 5 hits and 7 runs. In the third, bases loaded, Glavine, the backstop. Usually you win a prize at a carnival when you do that. He was not exactly sharp. 5th inning, Terry Pendleton, a 2-run shot off Wayne Henry, his 21st. Bream also homered. Bip Roberts drove in 5 for the Reds, but the Braves pulled this one out 12-7. They win their 5th straight, knocked the Reds 8.5 games down to the West. Jeff Blauser went 4 for 5 and drove in 4. Glavine becomes the National League's first 20-game winner, going just 5 innings, allowing 8 hits and 4 runs. Cubs at Pittsburgh. Chicago trailing 6-3. Doug DeCenzo gets a chop to Jeff King at third. Tries for the force at third. Everybody is safe. Loads the bases for Ryne Sandberg off Danny Cox. It's up there. It's out there, and it's a grand slam there. 19th home run of the year. The Cubs have a 7-6 lead. Bottom of the 6th, Pirates have men at first and second. Andy Van Slyke with a little looper towards left center. The ball drops and then hops. Alex Cole is in. Van Slyke hustles into second. Andy had a couple of hits. The Cubs then walk Barry Bonds to load the bases to pitch to Jeff King, and Ken Patterson pays for it. A grand slam to left. King's 12th homer of the year, only the 2nd grand slam of his career, and the Pirates go on to win it big. They've won 9 of their last 11. Alex Cole went 4 for 5 and scored 3. Jay Bell homered and extended his hitting streak to 15 games.
Do it at home because the Brewers are on the road this weekend. Facing Jose Mesa in the first, the weak ground out to first base, so 3 unassisted and 1 chance by the boards. Now bottom of the third, 2 strikes. Gets struck out by Mesa, so 2 chances down. Down 3-0, the Brewers rally for 4 in the 4th, and could this be 3,000, a home run? No, just foul. In the same at-bat, Yount will take another shot. This is his 3rd at-bat of the evening, and he strikes out, showing some frustration. Have another chance for Yount. Bottom of the 7th, here's Bob Uecker.
Back in against Mesa, who is working from the windup. The 0-1 pitch. Swings, and there it is! A base hit in the right center. He's done it. 3,000 for Robin.
As you imagine, they stopped the game. A tremendous moment. Someone went out to make sure that they got the ball and put it away. Forever for Robin Yount to keep. Every game he's played in his career as a Milwaukee Brewer, but despite the euphoria, Milwaukee lost on a 2-run Darren Holmes throwing error in the 9th. They lost 5-4. They're still in a pennant race, remember that. But this night will be long remembered for number 3,000. Yount at 37, the 3rd youngest ever on this special hit list. Every hit as a Brewer.
I really wanted it to happen here at home today. Maybe a little too much so, because you know, I got all caught up in the whole ordeal, the first 3 at bats. It was a great feeling. You know, you don't get feelings like that very often, so it was something that I was going to let last as long as it could, because like I say, that doesn't happen too often, and it felt very good.
Just like 1,000 and 2,000, hit 3,000 against Cleveland. Yount's career average 286, 70% of his hits singles. Except for Pete Rose, the rest of the 3,000 club has a spot in Cooperstown. You figure Mr. Yount will likely follow. Our congratulations.
Packed house in Fulton County, their last chance to see Cincinnati and maybe wave goodbye. Steve Avery, 3-0 in his career against Cincinnati. But in a scoreless game, Glenn Brax teed off, knocked it over the wall, and Lonnie Smith, but typical for the Reds this year, pulled up lame and had to leave the game with an injured right knee, the slowest home run trot of the season. Cincinnati did have the 1-0 lead. Then Avery giving up this shot, but Otis Nixon makes the basket catch to rob Cesar Hernandez. So still 1-0. Then in their half of the second, Greg Swindell gives up this bullet to Ronnie Gant. Lonnie Smith barreling home as Gant knocks in his 65th run to tie the game. Lou Piniella concerned. It stayed tied. It was 2-all when they got to the 9th, and Dion came on
from the Falcons practice in the afternoon. He showed up late, but he was there. He bothered Scott Bankhead. The pickoff throw goes away, and Dion is off and running. He makes it to third. They walk David Justice, and then it's Gant's turn again. Runners at the corners. Gant pops one up, but it's deep enough to certainly score Dion. He comes home with the winning run. The Braves have won their 6th straight. The Reds are 9.5 out. What did Lou say after the game? I'm realistic. I'm not conceding. I don't know what to say. I've got a headache. Indeed, he does. After winning their first game in Fulton County, the Reds lost all 8 of the rest.
Quick and starting well early. Top of the first, 2 outs, facing Dave Stewart. Munoz with a big hit. That scores Knobloch. It's 1-0 Twins. Bottom of the first, Tapani pitching. A's trying to be aggressive. Look who gets thrown out. Ricky Henderson by Brian Harper on the steal attempt. Bottom 2, Terry Steinbach, who's played in a few big games himself, comes through, scoring Harold Baines with that double. It's 2-1 A's, top of the 6th. Now it's Brian Harper's turn, slapping the single pass, a diving Carney Lansford. That scores Chili Davis. We're tied at 2, and Tony La Russa a bit nervous. To the bottom of the 8th, it's Steinbach again coming through, with this time with a single to center. That scores Lance Blankenship. It's 3-2 A's. 9th inning, you know, Eck time. Gets Kirby swinging for the last out. A's win this one 3-2. It was an awful night at the plate for Puckett. He was 0 for 5. So much for a sweep. The Twins are now 7 back of Oakland with just 18 to play. Now, right after trading Jose Canseco, the A's won only 1 of their 7 games. But since then, Oakland has won 7 straight. The A's team ERA, batting average, and runs per game have all soared during the streak. In the David Cone on fire. Number 1 hitter Kenny Lofton, he strikes out. Cone took care of the entire Tribe lineup. This time, Felix Fermin. Number 3 hitter Carlos Baerga. Number 4 hitter Albert Bell goes down. Cone had no trouble with Paul Sorrento either, the number 5 hitter. The number 6 hitter Carlos Martinez, little trouble there. Number 7 hitter Mark Whitten also goes down swinging. Number 8 hitter Glenn Allen Hill, well, Cone didn't get him. That's gone. 1-0 Tribe. It was 2-0 Tribe in the 9th with 2 out. Mesa out of the game, 2 on, 2 out. Candy Maldonado facing Steve Olin, and he gets what he needs. He bloops ones to center. Winfield is in. Couldn't make the play. Winfield comes in. It's 2-1 Tribe. Pinch hitter Roberto Alomar walked to load the bases. Then it's Olin getting Rance Mullenix to ground out. Olin comes through with save number 26, and the Tribe come through with a big 2-1 win. No one can accuse Cleveland of playing out the string. They're 9 games over.
Joe West, his first ejection of the year for Joe Torre. Bottom of the 6th, that's Ozzie Smith hitting off of Doug Drabeck and Gary Reedus, bobbling. They would call it a hit. He would score on Ray Langford's next at-bat. The game was tied at 2. 3 hitters later, wild pitch. Langford, who knocked in Ozzie, scores, and the Cards lead 3-2. Top 7, 2 outs. Bases loaded. Orlando Merced, fair ball. You need a pinch hit RBI, you go to Orlando. Best in the bigs at doing that. Reedus and Van Slyke give the Pirates the lead. St. Louis would tie, but in the 10th, 4-4, Cecil Espy. Fair ball. Alex Cole scores, and for Espy, his first RBI in over 2 months. That's just the way the Pirates do it. You don't know who's going to be the hero start in New York in the American League. No, he's not just a sax player. That's terrible. 2nd inning, White Sox Yanks, 2-0. Wilson Alvarez cruising. Jim Leyritz hitting. Then Mike Stanley hitting. 2 home runs, 7th for each. Back-to-back makes it 2-2. Tied at 4 in the 5th. George Bell and Robin Ventura on for Lance Johnson, who rips Bob Wickman. Bob Wickman's a big Sports Center watcher. Bob, close your eyes for the next 30 seconds. He didn't pitch well, replacing Scott Sanderson. Couple of runs scores. It's 6-4. Now to the 6th inning. George Bell swinging at an intentional walk pitch. Then his next time up, Greg Cattery throws behind him. George is a little uptight about that, yelling at the Yankee catcher, yelling at the dugout. And when you yell at the dugout, 6'8" Frank Howard's over there. And Hondo gets fired up. He says, you want to talk? Let's talk about it. Afterwards, Frank Howard said, nobody respects George Bell more than me. I'm a coach. I'm supposed to keep those situations.
Over his last 6 games, batting .545, and with no score, hits home run number 12 and gives the Braves a 1-0 lead. The blast off Belcher, and here, good defense. Blauser flips Lemke. They turn the double play. Another underrated all-around player, Bip Roberts, shot to left off Avery, and it's going to go into the foul net, but it's a solo homer that tied the game at 1. Bottom of the 8th, 2-1 Braves. Jimmy Williams telling Bobby Cox, we got to get Avery out of there. So Mike Stanton comes in. And rookie Dan Wilson pinch hitting, doubles to right, scoring O'Neill and Doran. It's 3-2 Reds. They add to it. Top of the ninth, they bring on Rob Dibble, who gets the meat of the order with Pendleton, and then Justice, and also Bream. And the Braves streak comes to an end, stopped at 9. Their magic number remains at 10. Bip Roberts and Hal Morris each had a couple of hits.
David Howard on third. Arthur Rhodes is pitching. Keith Miller, comebacker, good play by Rhodes. Looks Howard back, and he's hung out to dry. They'll get him at the plate, then Chris Hoyles alert, spins, throws to second. Miller caught in a rundown, double play. Good play by the O's, bad play by Howard and the Royals. Top of the 8th, 1-0 O's. Gary Thurman leading off first. Mike McFarland, the drive to right. Joe Orsulak to the track, to the wall, leaping, and he can't keep it in the park. Can't find it. Where is it? Well, Thurman scores. Game tied all the way to the 14th inning.
A fly ball will do it. There it is. Fly ball to right. Kozlowski with the catch, starts throwing to the plate. Here's the throw. Save!
And Chris Berman tells you the O's win 2-1 over the Royals on ESPN. To the highlights to Ron Darling. Gets Kirby to chase one the end of the first. He was facing the youngster Pat Mahomes, who was getting Carney Lansford to chase as well. Twins also turned some nice leather. Terry Steinbach is on base. Walt Weiss at the plate. The line drive to right field. Pedro Munoz coming on, gets it. The gun to first. Good throw to double up Steinbach. The Twins trying to stay on their feet. Chuck Knobloch takes the dive. Can't hang on there. Bottom of the 8th, 1-0 Twins. No. Game tied at 1 as Ricky says, see you later. A home run for Ricky Henderson to even the game. Harold Baines with a single made it 2-1 to the 9th to Eck. Enough said. Dennis Eckersley, how many times have we seen him do this? 12 pitches, all strikes. He got Mack, and then Puckett, and then Chili D. 2 looking, and then the Eck trademark, the pump, to close it out. As Eckersley pinches a perfect 9th for his 47th save. Ron Darling had a no-hitter.
Facing Steve Finley, and he has to reach back behind him and grab it, and does, and gets him at first. Giants led 6-5 on the 9th, but Finley says, get out of here to Rod Beck. 4th home run of the year, tied it at 6, forces extra innings. Bottom of the 11th, 2 on and 2 out. Jeff Bagwell, a 3-run homer. Bagwell went 5 for 6. The Astros, in extra innings, have won 14 of 19. And Matt Williams had a homer, his 19th in the first inning for the Giants.
Facing Damon Berryhill. Berryhill up the middle, past Barry Larkin, a base hit. Lonnie Smith skates in from second, tied at 1. Some help for Pete Smith, sure. Great play by Mark Lemke. Gets up and gets Dave Martinez. 7th inning, onto the bullpen. Mike Stanton, Cesar Hernandez on, facing Bip Roberts. Hard comebacker, turned it into a 1-6-3 double play. Now later in the inning, Hal Morris goes on and goes to sleep, and they pick him off at first. Same inning now, 1 Brave on. Braves trail by 1. Jeff Blauser off of Scott Ruskin to left field, and forget about it. Blauser is absolutely on fire, and the Braves go on to win and slice the magic number to 8. 3-2.
On the rotation with Tom Glavine out of there. 2-0 lead until the bottom of the 5th. That bounces off Greg Olson's helmet. Bill Doran will take 2 bases and go to third. Reggie Sanders, the next batter, chops a base hit into right, so Doran is in. It's 2-1 Braves. And then Smoltz bounces one up there. It gets away. Sanders hustles over to second, and Olson ready to take a cab and get out of here. Hal Morris promptly lining the single to right, scoring Sanders, and that ties the game at 2. Then Barry Larkin up the middle. Blauser gets to it. His turn to flip it away. Martinez scores, and the Reds win it 3-2. The Braves' magic number is 8. But the big story after the game, Lou Piniella and Rob Dibble went at it in the clubhouse. Piniella used Steve Foster for the save because Dibble complained of a tight shoulder the previous night. Dibble, after this game, told reporters he was fine. Lou overheard it and flipped out.
Bring it up! Come on! Please, don't do that to me! Come on, Ted! Come on, Ted! You're a fucking man, you son of a... Come on, come on,
all year. You don't want to be treated like a man.
Then talk your camera out of here. If that is on, I'll break it. Bring it up! Come on! Please, don't do that to me! Come on, Ted! Come on, Ted! You're a fucking man, you son of a... Come on, all year.
You don't want to be treated like a man.
Then talk your camera out of here. If that is on, I'll break it.
That was Tim Belcher in the blue shirt. Afterwards, Piniella had no comment except to say, you all saw it, write it. Dibble may be on his way to another suspension. Piniella may be on his way to the WWF.
To Sky Dome. There's Jack on the mound looking for number 20. Albert Bell's going to ring one. His 30th homer of the year to left field. Don't even look. 2-0 Indians. And Jack, maybe he knew didn't have his best stuff. Jays come back. Down 4-3, not for long. Joe Carter says, see ya, Jack Armstrong. Number 33, Joe has not faltered the second half of this season. 5-3 Jays. Indians still pesky. Watch Mark Whitten take out his former teammate Kelly Gruber. Look out at third. It's a rough play. Cleveland hanging in there. Morris had the lead, 5-3. Eighth, it's Bell again. This one needs a hop to get over the wall, but it still scores 2 runs, and the game is tied at 5, bottom of the 9th. Man on first, Eric Plunk pitching. John Olerud to right field, and that's a winner. The 2-run game-winning homer for John Olerud. Big hit as Toronto wins.
6th inning, no score. Danny Jackson working to Gary Carter. And a shot toward right that takes off and rolls. Tim Wallach is headed home. Will Cordero in. Carter ends up with his 17th double and a 2-0 Expo lead. Bottom of the 6th, Van Slyke is at first. Dennis Martinez to Barry Bonds, and he laces one down the line. Van Slyke is going to hustle from first base and come all the way around to score. Bonds gets the double. Bucks trailing 2-1. Jeff King, the next batter, trying to tie the game. Sends one towards center. And Marquise Grissom, having a heck of a series and an outstanding year, keeps it at 2-1. Bottom of the 8th, Mel Rojas on, facing Jeff King, the grounder. Spike Owen throws it away. A costly error. Major miscue. Scores the tying run. So in the bottom of the 10th, tied at 2, bases loaded. Barry Bonds, the winning run on third. Cecil Espy batting against Wetland and does not get it. Struck out. So we go further to the 13th. Espy had tripled. Jay Bell singles the game-winning hit that extends his hitting streak to 22 games. And the Pirates win. Getting a long ball from Barry Larkin. This off Frank Seminara. It's a 2-run homer. This a home run, his 12th of the year. Drove in 3. He has 70 runs batted in for the season. Still in the 4th, this Joe Oliver doubling to center. It gets past Darren Jackson. Jeff Branson scores. The Reds go on to win it. Bobby Ayala, the rookie, follows up Tim Few's solid pitching effort with 7 shutout innings. Dibble struck out 2 in the 9th. Got another save. Reds first, bases loaded. Luis Alicea laces one and it rolls in the left field corner. Everybody on base scores, and the Cardinals build a 4-0 lead. Bottom of the 1st, bases loaded here. Omar Olivares against Alex Arias, and he's going to tie things up at 4-all. Craig Wilson off Chuck McElroy, a double to right. Luis Alicea is in. It was 10-8 cards, bottom of the 9th. Lee Smith going for the save. Ryan Sandberg gets up, gets out, gets into the night. 10-10. The homer ties it, extra innings. Paul Ossenmacher facing Stan Royer with Langford at third. It's a game-winning hit. Lee Smith, believe it or not, gets the win after all that. He blew a save for the 8th time in 47 chances. Park near you. Aminetti trying to score at a sacrifice fly, and the collision at the plate. The ankle twisted. He was carried off on the stretcher. As you get another look, it's tough to watch. This could be the kind of injury that is career-threatening, but Olsen showing his spirit with the team as he was doing the chop when he was carried off. To the Astros and the Braves Saturday night, and Atlanta in need of a win. That's David Need pitching, and does a nice job getting Luis Gonzalez, one of his 8 strikeouts. He went 7 innings, had 13 fly ball outs, no ground outs. This one of the fly outs is Otis Nixon, hauls it in. And then Jeff Bagwell turning the nice defense. Jeff Treadway for Atlanta makes a nice stab to double up Juan Guerrero. Game tied at 2, top of the 12th. Marvin Freeman facing Ernest Riles. That's right, Ernest Riles. It's out of here. It's a home run. It's a 3-2 Astro lead. Bottom of the 12th, 2 out. Runner at second. Lefty singles to left. Gonzalez double pumps. Brian Hunter is coming home to throw to Scott Service. You're not safe. Astros hang on and win it. They're 5-0 in extra inning games on the road. Damon Berryhill 4 for 4, including a double and a triple. The Braves just
takes one out to right center. Greg Harris not pitching well since his return. Second homer of the year for Martinez. Tim Belcher, who had a big weekend, bought pizzas for a sports writer, if you hadn't heard that story, strikes out 13 men, career high. Gerald Clark, the victim there. Belcher gets his complete game 7-hitter. By the way, Reds owner Marge Schott, who banned a guy from the Cincinnati Post from the Stadium Press dining room for having written an article critical of her dog Shotzi on Saturday. She missed this game.
Van Slyke and Bonds on base. Jeff King, Morandini steps on second, tags Bond, the 9th unassisted triple play in history. Take a look at it again. He was helped out. King lines to Morandini, and you got runners running on the play. The scoreboard shows what he's accomplished. Morandini said he was stupid not to keep the ball. He said he just threw it on the mound. I know a sportscaster here at SportsCenter who would have paid good money for that ball.
watch it.
Keith. A total of 9 unassisted triple plays have been pulled off. The Indians have been involved in 5 of them. Here are the most recent ones, including the last one in the National League. Jim Cooney, like Mickey Morandini, pulled off his triple against the Pirates. As for the game itself, to the 8th inning, it's 2-1 Pirates, and Dave Hollins facing Denny Nagel. Gone. 25th on the year, and we're tied at 2. We went to the 13th, still tied at 2. Cecil Espy at first, Jay Bell, maybe the best bunter in the game. The count was 0-2 when he laid it down. After Van Slyke flies out, Bonds intentionally walked. Jeff King hit into the triple play, but he got the last laugh. Brings in the game winner. After watching the Phillies' lack of defense today, Curt Schilling said, it's the same crap every day. It's not one person, it's everyone. We don't make plays. It seems like it's contagious. It's frustrating as hell to watch every day.